Global happenings today. We communicate. We analyze global news. Stay tuned.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to our channel. It has become public knowledge right now that Fubara and Wike are trying to settle their differences. But while they're at it, the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu have decided to help write to the National Assembly to pass the budget, Rivers State 2025 budget. So to speak, he is definitely running the affairs of Nigeria and running the affairs of Rivers State. He's literally using Rivers as a pet project. Well, the Ijaw people are no longer finding this whole scenario interesting, and they have decided to react. But this time around, it may shock you really who they are putting the bulk of the blame of all of this drama on. But before we go into the newspaper, kindly subscribe to our channel. Ijaw leaders under the auspices of the Coalition of Ijaw Interest Groups, GIIG, as of some few hours ago, expressed dissatisfaction with political development in Rivers State. The group, in a statement issued somewhere in Yenagua, condemned the betrayal of the mandate of the people and the subsequent firstings of the selfish interest of the political class. The statement was signed by Ben Okoro, Efiye Bribana, Chief Dense Ketebe, Inuro Wills, Elaye Otrofaunoe, Tare Ekpebo, and Patterson Boliga. Other members of the coalition who endorsed the statement are also Ms. Angel Briggs, Mrs. Rosemary John Odone, Ebetem Egbonokoma, and Yemovia Sako Collins. And the coalition of Ijaw interest groups, having watched with keen interest and concern the recent happenings in the country in our democracy, would like to make the following observations: that it is very troubling to see that the very dire socio-economic conditions in our country, especially the unacceptable and growing levels of poverty, insecurity, and developmental challenges, as well as the ecological crisis, is not attracting or receiving the level of attention it deserves by the government and politicians. Rather than focusing on improving the situation they claim to have met, they seem to have become more brazen and embodied in a desperate attempt to capture instruments of state power, namely the legislature and the judiciary, and to force illegality and lawlessness upon the people. We see the brazen suspension of entire apparatus of government, the elected governor, state House of Assembly members, and so on, and subsequently the appointees of the government of Rivers State through the unconstitutional declaration of a state of emergency by the president. It amounts to nothing less than overthrowing the mandate of the people and the legitimate and democratically elected government of Rivers State. The statement also reads, in part, the group noted that the build-up points to the promotion of the selfish determination and desire of the minister of the FCT, Federal Capital Territory, Minister Nyesom Wike, to control the state by proxy even after leaving office as governor for 8 years. The group said that they are also alarmed by the unconstitutional conduct by which the National Assembly, led by Senator Godswill Akpabio, endorsed the act through a questionable voice vote. They described the voice vote as a procedure that flagrantly violates the Nigerian Constitution and disagrees the legislative process. We therefore are fully aligned with the principled position taken by the respected citizens such as Mr. Atedo Peterside, Ms. Angel Briggs, Dem Dono Kugbara, and the Rivers elders who had rightly demanded an immediate halt to this illegality. We also acknowledge and celebrate the indomitable spirit of the various women groups that make up the Rivers Women Unite for Same. These women with heart of lion have continually resisted the illegitimate sole administrator in Rivers State since the unconstitutional swearing-in at Abuja by the president. We call upon all well-meaning Nigerians, the international community, and all defenders of participatory democracy to speak out against this injustice and support the restoration of constitutional governance, democratic order, and the rule of law in Rivers State. The coalition explained that that like Nigerians, like the people of Rivers State, deserve to live in a democracy and enjoy its dividends. They stated that in a democracy, the people must be governed according to the rule of law and by those they have democratically elected, not by proxies, military-style appointees, or individuals imposed by anti-democratic forces, as the case is in Rivers today. We hold the view that the operational conduct of the unconstitutional imposed sole administrator, Vice Admiral Ijaw Ikwebas, retired, particularly in the affairs of superintending over the resources of the state, be thoroughly scrutinized. He must be held to account. This, in addition to this role as a puppet for the main collaborators and perpetrators for grossly violating the Constitution, raping our democracy, and verbally threatening the protesting women of Rivers State who were simply exercising their constitutional right to peaceful protest their grievances against the military-style deprivation of their democratic constitutional right and the imposition of an unelected outsider to rule over them. The coalition said they are disappointed by the nonchalant attitude of Governor Siminalayi Fubara towards the mandate bestowed upon him by the people of Rivers State. They decried Fubara's recent attempt to abandon the sacred mandate given to him as most despicable, uncharitable, and bespeak of a larger problem of the democratic process in Nigeria. They described the situation wherein politicians trade the interests of the people for their selfish personal interests as regrettable. We therefore call on Governor Sim Fubara to retrace his steps and rise and defend his mandate. We deplore the situation within in a select few hijacks and impose their whims and caprices on the people. We demand that for the progress of democracy in Nigeria and for the sake of the unity of the country, all persons associated with these illegalities and atrocities being inflicted on the people of Rivers State should be brought to justice, the coalition stated. Wow, who's going to bring them to justice? Well, my colleague is in the house. What's your take on what this coalition Ijaw group is really saying?
Well, I think that this has been said over and over again. Unfortunately, it's glaring that Fubara himself has lost track of what leadership is all about, because if he knows that leadership is all about the people, leading the people and being responsible for whatever that happens in the opposition as a leader, some of the statements he has made, he would have retracted it by now. But be that as it may, I feel that it's not something that they should keep on talking about it over and over again. It's something that they need to meet as a people, clear their tables and see how they can restore peace, because that is most important right now. I think that's just the situation.
All right, that's going to wrap it up. Let's meet